That saying, put your money where your mouth is. I have a question. When was the last time you saw yourself in the mirror? If you're anything like me, you looked in the mirror a few times today already. You looked in the mirror this morning when you woke up. As you were getting ready to present yourself to the world, you checked your hair, maybe your makeup, your shoes, making sure that what you were going to project today, who you were going to be today, fitted your standard of your image. I grew up in front of the mirror. I was a dancer, and I started stage school when I was really young, age of 6, 7. So I spent hours every day in front of this huge mirror, checking my movements, my posture, my technique, my facial expressions, just to see if I was projecting what I wanted to project. As a teen, I started modeling. Again, the mirror. Other people would dress me up, do my hair and makeup, and make sure that I was projecting the image they wanted me to project. I couldn't get away from the mirror. Later, I became a hairdresser. Well, hey, standing in front of the mirror all day. And then I started working in television. And again, there it was. Hours of makeup, clothing, making sure that I was projecting the image I wanted to project. My friends and family always joke. They say, how vain does one person have to be to want to be in front of a mirror all day, every day? Little did they know that it was exactly the mirror, a good look in the mirror, that brought true healing when I needed it. Not just to myself, but luckily, I'm proud to say, also to others. You see, besides working in media, I'm also the proud co-founder of the House of Power. And the House of Power is what I like to call a coaching agency, where we offer people practical tools to live, well, let's say to get closer to the life they want to live, to give them tools to start living a heartfelt life instead of the brain-pushed life that society seems to force upon us, or for that matter, we seem to force upon ourselves. So about, well, let's say a couple of weeks ago, a young lady came to me and she was sad. She came to me with a situation that she was not happy about. She found herself caught up in this nasty three-way relationship situation that was not respecting or fulfilling her needs and her wants. She sat in front of me, teary-eyed, and she told me how she felt. She said, I feel victimized. I feel powerless, sad, lonely, and disconnected from the world. I asked her, well, what are you going to do to reclaim your power in this situation? And she said, well, I really don't know, but I'm going to think about it. I said, well, fine, think about it, but just know this. As long as you're thinking about it, you know you're going to be suffering. Every second you spend thinking about a problem is a second spent suffering. Nothing will beat you up more than those voices in your head going back and forth with conflicting stories while you're thinking about it. That won't stop until you act, until you do something. He said, well, but what am I going to do? So I said to her, well, go home and look in the mirror. Call me when you get something. That tip I gave her, it was the same thing I'd done 10 years earlier. 10 years ago, when I was 32, I found myself also in a place where I felt disconnected, lonely, victimized, and powerless. By that time, I'd faced so many hardships, I didn't know how to take it anymore. By that time, I'd gone through, well, you name it. I'd gone through sexual abuse, domestic violence, obviously heartache, suicide, twice. My son ended up in hospital as a baby with severe burn wounds, like 60% of his body was burned by boiling hot water. His dad then decided it was okay to kill himself. And my dad, at one point in his life, decided that he was going to kill himself. I just got married, and 2 weeks after the wedding, my husband told me that, well, his business was going bankrupt. And that day, I found out we had lost our baby. So yeah, I felt disconnected, powerless, and I didn't know what to do. So I sat in front of a mirror for minutes. And at first, all I could see was my sadness, my puffy eyes from crying, my dull hair, my tired skin. And I just sat there. But then, something happened. I stopped looking, and I started seeing. I stopped looking at myself. I started seeing myself. Looking myself straight into the eyes, it hit me. What hit me? Tears. A river of tears. First time I met myself, that was a powerful moment. I couldn't believe what I saw. I saw my own ugliness. I saw my sadness, I saw my flaws, but I also saw my beauty. Wow, I am beautiful. I saw my power. I saw myself. That young lady that I advised to go and have a look in the mirror, she struggled for days. And after a couple of days, she called me and she said, I understand now. For 4 days, I was looking at that mirror and I couldn't see anything. Well, I saw myself, I saw everything that was wrong with me, but that was just projection. And the longer I stayed, the less opportunity I had to escape what was really going on, and that was connection. I am in love with Facebook. Everybody in here that knows me, I think, yeah, it's okay, you can laugh. I'm admitting my addiction. I'm on Facebook all the time. So when I wanted to know something about how often do women look in the mirror, that's where I went. I went on Facebook and I asked my Facebook friends and I said, how often do you look in the mirror and why? And I got all these honest answers. Some women said, oh, mirror? I don't even want to look in the mirror. Some women said, I look in the mirror 20 times a day, and the reason why, I want to check if my hair's okay, if I didn't grow a pimple in the last 5 minutes, I just need to know. But mostly, on average, I discovered that women look in the mirror about 6 times a day. They look in the mirror in the morning as they get ready, they check their makeup, their hair during the day. When they come home at night, they take everything off and they look in the mirror again. And I found that that last look in the mirror, that's the toughest. The last one in the day. But basically what I found was that women look in the mirror very often, yet very briefly. Nobody looks in the mirror. We check. We judge. And who do we judge? Ourselves. Whether we look in the mirror 4 times a day or 20 times a day, it's to judge ourselves. What a shame. Because I have found that the mirror is the greatest place, not for projection, reflection, but true connection. What do you do when you really want to get to know somebody? You look them in the eyes. What do you do when you really want to know if somebody's telling you the truth? You look them in the eyes. How are you ever going to know if you are telling yourself the truth? You never look yourself in the eye. The young lady that I was helping out, she said she felt such a relief when she finally saw herself in the mirror. I said, well, tell me what happened. And she said, you know, I met somebody new. I saw for the first time my beauty, my power. I met my best friend. In the mirror lives that one person, the only person you really ever in your life want to make a connection with. And that's you. There's nothing wrong with vanity. Look at me. I'm vain. I love myself, and I love looking at myself. There's only one place to go when I need the truth, when I need an honest answer, when I need somebody to tell me that I'm talking bullshit or that I'm doing the right thing. I go to my best friend, and I go to the mirror. So my question is, next time when you're in front of a mirror, will you be checking if you're projecting the right thing? Will you be judging your reflection? Or will you stand in front of that mirror and find true connection? I wish you the latter, of course. Thank you very much.